You may love the U.S. You may love where you're from, but that doesn't make the U.S. a Christian nation. So the U.S., of course, is really like a corporation housed in Washington, D.C. Now, if you want to get into the actual people who are citizens of the country, of the 50 states, are most of them Christian or aligned with Christianity by virtue of socially and just sort of like how everything is created. Yeah, I could give you that. All of that said, people consistently seem to step over things like how many presidents were actually involved in, for example, the Masonic order. So I had a gentleman tell me about the founding fathers, but for example, George Washington was easily a Mason. Whether being a Mason is good or bad is another conversation. I don't really want to derail this video. The amount of people who were actually professed that they were Christians but were also Masons is quite high when it comes to people who actually sat in the Oval Office. You really get into like how is the city laid out. If I remember correctly, it's sort of laid out essentially like the compass, I believe. If it's not a compass, then it's actually a pyramid, and it all kind of goes back to Masonry. So and all of this was like really done on purpose. So when I hear people say that the corporation, when they're talking about is a Christian nation, the corporation is not Christian by any means. What the IRS imposes on American citizens is nothing to do with Christianity whatsoever. Even the fact that people who live in DC have taxation without representation, that's not biblical principles whatsoever. And we could go on and on and on and on. There's nothing Christian about Manifest Destiny, Monroe Doctrine, zero. And of course, when I'm saying Christian, I'm talking about what's actually in the text. I'm not talking about professed nations of Christians basically engaging in colonialism and then excusing it because they just extended the Crusades, you get me? So one last thing that I'll leave you with that this cat named Gaddy brought up on TikTok, and I thought it was very interesting, is what were the Pilgrims looking for when they came to the U.S., or really when they came to the continental U.S., and I'm just using that as a locator because they were pilgrims, so then they were seeking a holy land. Interesting thoughts, right?
Study the scriptures in a new language. Go to talkflow.pro for your foreign language needs.